Hi everybody. I hope everyone had a very meaningful Yom Kippur. I think I had one of the best Yom Kippurs of my life. It was definitely being part of such a special community here in Portland has I don't know, it just blown me away. I just, as I was in the synagogue and I looked around and I just see so many different types of Jews, and I just felt like we were together with one voice coming to God, and it was so beautiful, so powerful, and very, very meaningful and moving. So it was a wonderful Yom Kippur, but I think part of the reason that I had such an incredible Yom Kippur was because I felt like I had a week-long Yom Kippur, because the week before Yom Kippur, I messed up and I made a mistake, and I had to really do a lot of thinking and atoning, and I was really fearful. Like, I felt so upset and so scared, and I was trembling. Like, I would get an email or a phone call from people that were upset, and I was shaking. And when I sat in the synagogue today and I'm praying to God, I was thinking to myself, wow, if I am so afraid of people that are mere flesh and blood, and how it affects me and how upsetting it is when I hurt somebody, so much more so, how do I need to be so afraid in front of God, the master of the universe, who created me and knows everything? So it was a very intense Yom Kippur, and it's funny, a few weeks ago, my daughter came home from school, and she asked me a question. She said that, she got 2 new girls in her class from Israel, 2 lovely girls, and the Israeli culture and the American culture is very different. So I guess the Israelis were trying to sort things out in their minds. So they asked my daughter, "Are you Haredi?" Now, Haredi is a term that every Israeli knows. Haredi is like the ultra-Orthodox Jews that live in Israel. There's a name for every group, and there's so many different groups. And here in America, it's like a Jew is a Jew. You see a Jew in the supermarket, you embrace them and you invite them for Shabbat. There's no separations here, and that's a very, very beautiful thing. So I told my daughter, we never really fit into any camp in Israel. We're just Jewish. But I asked my daughter, do you know what the term Haredi means? So I think what I learned from my husband is it means to tremble, to Haredi lidvar Hashem, to be fearful and to tremble before God. And I thought about it today because I was fearful. As I sat there praying, I felt so afraid, asking, begging for life for everyone in my life. So it was a beautiful Yom Kippur. And it had a lot of fear. We serve God through love and through fear. And the way that we call fear of God is Yirat Hashem. And the Baal Shem Tov, he said that grammatically, Yirat Hashem means the fear of God. Now, what could God be fearful of? He has everything. He's in control of everything. What can God be fearful of, possibly? God is fearful that you and I, that every one of his children will not connect to him, will not come together with him. So what does God do? He gives us so many chances because he loves us so much. Let's just think back a few months ago, during summertime. We have the month of Av. We have these 3 weeks, starting in Tammuz, 3 weeks that Hashem says, just remember what we used to have together. We had something so special. Remember the holy temple that was taken away from you? Remember what we had? We were so close. But it's hard. It's hard during those 3 weeks. It's summer vacation, and there's lots going on, and you're packing the kids off for summer, for camps, and I don't know, it's hard to connect. So God says, I understand. I'm going to give you 9 days. For 9 days, just lower your joy. Just remember what we lost, what we had, and how we don't have that anymore. Just think about what was and how beautiful it was and yearn for it. But 9 days, it's a long time for us also. It's so hot outside, and we're just preoccupied with summer vacation. So God understands, and he says, okay, I'm going to give you just 1 day, Tisha B'Av. Just sit on the floor and shed 1 tear for what was, for our relationship. Just connect to me in some way. But even Tisha B'Av can be so hard to connect. So God says, okay, it's okay. I understand. I love you anyways. I'm going to give you a whole month of Elul, a month of love, this massive expression of God coming close to us. It says God, the king is in the field. He descends from his heavenly throne and he comes down into the field to be with us. And God is so close to us. And the whole month, we have so many opportunities to come closer to him. And after that, we have Rosh Hashanah. We have Yom Kippur, when we're literally in the end of Ne'ilah tonight. We said 7 times, Hashem hu ha'elokim. Hashem hu ha'elokim. God, you are my master. You are my God. Right? We said it 7 times, and there's 7 steps towards heaven, supposedly. And we're kind of helping God ascend and go back up to his heavenly throne after he's been with us through all these months and these weeks and these times. And we take God right up to his throne, and hopefully by the end of Yom Kippur, I don't know about you, but I didn't even rush to eat. I didn't even rush to get back to my life. I'm kind of on a high. It feels so good. We didn't realize, but in the process of all these different situations that God has put us in over the last few months, he has brought in us to have a closer relationship with him. And now I feel so energized to get out the hammers and nails and to go into my sukkah. And the sukkah represents a hug from God. And hopefully we should all just go into it with feeling such a warmth and love from him, and a relationship and a connection that was stronger than before we started out. So I'm wishing everyone a very, very good year ahead. Only good things, lots of joy. And thank you so much for joining me.